All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Freezin NFC North Podcast, episode 135, 2025 NFL Draft, Green Bay, NFC North Division winners and losers. I am right back from Green Bay. Had an interesting time in, some would say, the Holy Land. I would not, but I was able to watch the draft day two. I was able to watch day two from Lambeau Field. That was kind of nice as well. The last day had a chance to get front row. So lots of that stuff coming. But as we get started, I am going to see Derek. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear us?
I can't hear you guys.
You can't hear us. All right. I'm going to have you log back out and then log back in. But as we get started, RevTrev, where can we find you as we get started?
You can find me everywhere on RevTrevNFL. Happy to connect with people about the Green Bay Packers, the most historic franchise in the history of the NFL.
Wow.
I mean, I'll let you have that since the draft was in Green Bay, and lots of great stuff to come from you on that as well. And you can find me on NFL Outdated on Twitter, X, on YouTube, and obviously back from Green Bay. And as we kind of get started, seventh letter, where can we find you?
Seventh letter 4 on Twitter, X, same OG on Instagram and Facebook, and on top of the NFC North.
Well, you are on top. And Derek, can you hear us? Cannot hear us. That's all right. Hopefully we could maybe if you log back in and all that stuff. But as we get going, we're gonna get talking about some of this stuff as well. I'm going to give you the first crack at this here. So, Trev, obviously, it was in Green Bay. So what did it mean to you as a Packer fan to see the draft in Green Bay?
Yeah, it was special. I had a lot of FOMO, to be honest, because I was supposed to be going to the draft. Our trip got canceled, and I'm sitting there watching all you guys there. And I'm just thankful that you had an awesome experience. But like every Packers person that I'm like I follow, that I enjoy listening to, was there as well. And I'm like, seriously, I could have been there. But it was special. I know that last year in Detroit was really cool as well. So I don't want to definitely I don't want to be like negative to that experience, but just being in Green Bay in that parking lot, you can see Lambeau Field in the background. I just thought they did a phenomenal job of making it special, and the fans came out in droves. It was fun to watch and made our picks even more incredible. So you were there, Andy. You can tell me what it was like, but as a fan watching, it made it really special. And I was like, oh, man, I wish it was there.
Yeah, obviously as a Bears fan, it was hard hearing the, Bears still suck. They kept drowning everything, but the go pack go, all that stuff. I do have to admit, it was kind of a really cool backdrop to have the option to sit in Lambeau for part of the draft. Obviously, you had to watch on the big screens and stuff, but, they did in Lambeau, they had the red carpet. So, on the first night, people could do that. And so that was a really cool experience. Obviously we did that on Friday. It was like cold and miserable on that day. But that was a good opportunity just to, get my little video. And I have to post a lot of stuff to get my little video saying that this is Caleb's crib now. So, and now
that was hilarious, by the way. I thought it was like perfect that you're doing that. And just made people more angry. You did a great job of that.
I tried to. And let's welcome in Derek. Can you hear us now? Let's unmute him here. Still muted. Still muted. He's still thinking about this.
Can you hear me?
We got you now. All right.
Wow.
Welcome to the
My bad,
Freezin
guys.
Podcast. All right. So we brought you in, obviously, as a Viking super fan. Follow you on Facebook and all that. And you've been to drafts in the past, correct?
I've only been to US Bank.
Okay. Okay. So you've been to that. Okay. So you're watching it on. We're just talking. And I was there live and everything. How was it to have the draft at a division rival team and hear all of the boos? There was a lot of boos for the Vikings, obviously more for the Bears, but there was a lot of Vikings boos as well. How was it for you?
I mean, it's always fun. Right? I didn't hear a lot of boos. I don't think.
There were plenty live. Obviously, they're more for the Bears and stuff, but
yeah. I mean, US Bank, it's a lot going on there when you're there. So we didn't have to the 24th pick, so it was like, and I buy a lot of jerseys, so I was standing in the garage sale line for like an hour. That was that night, man.
Well, someone who is always in line to comment on everything. What about you, Seventh Letter, with the NFL draft? I mean, were you kind of on pins and needles and watching every single pick?
Yeah, I did. It was like every other draft to me, man. Just a little bit more. It was a lot of Bear hate there. I did hear that. Like, everybody was hating on the Bears, but I think that's a sign of good things to come, Andy. Finally,
I think so. And me, I was taking it in stride. I was yelling Week 18 as well. Week 18. Week 18.
It's a sign.
Yeah.
It's the last
What's the sign?
This is the last time they're gonna be able to laugh at you.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree. Especially with what we were able to do with a broken coaching staff. I mean, I know Derek, you've had a broken coaching staff in Minnesota before. Obviously, now you don't. You have a solid coaching staff right now. And obviously, with all the draft picks and everything like that, coaching matters. We've talked about that. So let's kind of go get into all the picks first. And Trevor, when you kind of look at the Packers draft, obviously it was really kind of a made for TV moment with their first pick. So walk through kind of your thoughts on some of these picks here.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was special that they had Mark Murphy out there, and with the way he kind of got the crowd popping with the first time, picking a wide receiver since 2002. It just got fans pumped up, and a lot of people wanted Matthew Golden. So when that pick hit, I can just imagine how electric it would have been in there. Yeah, I was surprised. I thought we were going edge, honestly. But I think the edge rushers we wanted went right before us. And this was plan B or C or whatever we want to call it. And it still works out to be a really good option. Yeah, like Gutekunst is saying you can't, or no, actually, and Matt LaFleur is saying you can't teach 4.29 speed. It's just something that's special. It's not normal, and if he can have good route running, it'd be great. I just want to start by saying we know nothing about drafts, and Andy, I think this is the part where you keep telling everyone you hate mock drafting because it's like, what do we know? What do we know? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, we're sitting there. And like you've seen the videos of when Josh Allen gets drafted and everyone's like, oh my goodness, that's the worst. And it's like all these draft picks, and fans don't know how to evaluate talent.
Although someone who does know how to evaluate talent is Dale, Average Cheese, and wasn't able to connect with him. We're just in different places on Thursday and Friday, but he says Steelers once again took your guy. And I'm not sure which guy you're referring to as the edge guy, but whoever they took. But go ahead and comment on that, Average Cheese. But tell you what, I mean, I think we do know one thing, and I think what we know is, Christian Watson is on notice because that's kind of that's his position.
Yeah, well, he hurt. He's hurt all the way till probably after Thanksgiving anyway. So
well, yeah, but I mean, obviously, if he's out, the best ability is availability. So I don't know. I mean, I was looking forward to Christian Watson running down the field and missing another, catch going off his hands, just kind of like I think he did with versus the Vikings. Derek, didn't he do that versus the Vikings his first year? Just dropped a pass.
Yeah, that pass with A-Raj. That was terrible.
Tell you what, terrible, but obviously good for the rest of us to see him drop things. But obviously,
yeah, he would have went to the house.
He would have on that one. So Derek Harmon, obviously, that would have been a nice pick. Packers did get some other players as well. So obviously, yes, we don't quite know anything. But what about position wise? Rev, did you kind of like
the draft? It's players that they always kind of take. Like it's looking like a straight up Packer draft again. Colin Oliver, another like edge linebacker. You know what I'm saying? Like he is that the one that had like the 9.74 RAS score at linebacker, 8.92 at defensive end. You know what I mean? Ran a 4.5. Like this is what they do. This is what they do. They just get a whole bunch of pretty good athletes. And who the fuck is Savion Williams? Who's that?
Well, yeah. So my son actually, he's good on this stuff. He was saying, TCU, he's a TCU wide receiver, but we were kind of joking that you don't take a TCU wide receiver, and they went ahead and did that. But obviously, it sounded like he actually Savion hosted Matthew Golden on a visit when Golden was possibly going to go to TCU. So they kind of know each other that way. So that's going to be an interesting connection. Cool. But yeah, I mean, obviously they went wide receiver, they went linebacker. I was surprised. I don't know about you, the rest of you guys, but I was surprised they didn't go defensive back sooner than they did.
Well, that's the thing. It's because people were speculating that Jair was gone. Mm-hmm. And then, so if he was, then you're picking him, you're picking a cornerback, right? But it's like, no, he's staying, and this is what we're going to be doing, because if Jair goes now, we're hooped, right? But every mock draft that I did, I always went 2 wide receivers because there's just so many good ones. And Savion Williams is one of the guys that I was drafting a little later, going, I can't pass up that talent there. I really liked. Well, we'll talk about the Bears one there later, but I love the back-to-back edge rushers. But the Byron Sorrell story was special. He's the only guy in day 3 still there. I absolutely loved that whole story. It was amazing. But with our second pick, 54, we picked Anthony Belton. I'm like, who? I don't know who he is, and it's not that I'm a draft guru, but that's the problem with pretending like we are and doing all these mock drafts. Never once in all the 4,000 mock drafts I did that I had Anthony Belton. But then you look at him and he's a monster of a man, and you're like, holy smokes! I'm so glad they drafted that guy. So does he pan out? Who knows? It's hard to look at it right now and go, oh, we won or we really improved. It's like I think it just improved our chances for this season, and that's all that matters at this stage.
Yeah, absolutely. And seventh letter, what are your thoughts on the Packers picks here?
It's the same. Like Warren Brinson in the 6th round. I mean, 9.1 RAS score. There's another athlete, Mekhi Robinson. He's a little guy, but he ran a 4.39. Just the same kind of draft. They 7th round pick has a 9.07 RAS score. This is what the Packers do all the time, yeah. And then you find they don't draft left tackles in the first round. It's just who's this guy, and he's good all of a sudden because they develop them, and it's nothing else to do in Green Bay but develop players. So it's the same kind of draft. I've seen this draft for the last 20 years. It looks the same. Nothing really changed.
Yeah, Skullman here. Yeah, don't draft TCU wide receivers. Eagles didn't know that in 2020. Who knows? Savion could be good. Obviously, yeah, you're right. We don't know. I do have to say, I do kind of trust the Packers in what they have done. They've built through the draft. They know what they're doing. And obviously we'll see kind of how everything kind of shakes out. One team that I was surprised, and a lot of fans were surprised too, that didn't go DB early were the Vikings. So, Derek, when you kind of look at your picks, obviously you only started with 4, turned them into 5. What were your thoughts on the Vikings draft picks and maybe why they didn't go with a corner?
I was surprised on the corner, honestly, why we didn't. I mean, I do like the guard, right? Like our edge rusher. I don't know why we got the receiver. Maybe we plan on trading them. That's my thought. Linebacker, I like that one. Tight end, I like too, because Hawkinson's kind of injury prone to me.
Yeah, we talked about that. Seventh letter talks about that. And that he's soft.
It's soft.
Yeah, he's not. I mean, I like him, but then there's sometimes I'm just like, I don't know what he's doing.
I've heard good things about Ty Felton, and obviously everyone, get the cut to the everyone high five, and we got our guy. But they seem to really like him. Obviously, you have experience with another Maryland wide receiver that's no longer with the Vikings. But Ty Felton, might be a good pickup. And obviously, as I like to call him, the big KOC likes his offensive players.
He does a lot. He likes to play around a lot. That's for sure. I don't even know what our QB situation is. That's how nuts that is.
So are you high on JJ, or do you think? I mean, you think he's going to be? Are you like, second coming, or are you a little worried about him, or what are your thoughts?
I just hate his knee, man. They got injured right away. That's what sucks. I got a knee, and I know it's going to bug you no matter what. So, I mean, I'm pumped we got him. I definitely think we need to go with him. KLC's great. Like, look what we did with Darnold. Darnold obviously has more experience, but a little older. But I say we just give him a chance. And, and no matter what, no matter how Minnesota says he sucks or he's great, just leave him in there. Like, do not let the media or anything get you it. Just ride him out, because definitely has some potential.
I mean, that's what you have to do with. I mean, that's what the Packers did with Love, even though he kind of regressed and became mid last year, and all those things, right, Trev? But
Love is still good. I mean, I talk crap about him, but he's still good.
Oh, I don't necessarily say that. I was bummed at the draft. I got about half an hour away from my place on the way to draft, and I forgot my Jordan Love is mid shirt, and so I went without. I was really disappointed in not being able to have that in Green Bay. Obviously, I got a lot of razzing as well. But when you look at the Vikings, obviously they've really rebuilt their offensive line. Donovan Jackson, some people thought he was the best guard in the draft, and so I mean that's a big pickup. And I think that's probably when you look at teams, the Lions and now the Vikings. Building the trenches. And that's probably where my Bears have kind of gotten a lot of flack is we have not done that. And obviously last year we had issues with that as well. But obviously the Bears had done that in the free agency and all that. Plus, when you look at the Bears picks, we did go ahead and address that later on. But, so I'm going to, seventh letter, I'm going to give you the first crack here. What were your thoughts on when the Bears picked Colston Loveland out of Michigan as their pick?
I laughed at first, and then I realized, like, Ben Johnson was the tight end coach for us, and he's going to use them. He uses the tight ends a lot, especially in the red zone. You don't really have big receivers other than Rome, really. And Luther Bird, he kind of like a, who his comp was, right?
Who was his comp?
DJ Moore.
Yeah, okay. I was going to say that. It's very similar. Yes.
So they're going to trade DJ Moore. DJ Moore is getting traded.
Maybe.
Yeah, he getting out of here. It's something about it. I don't like him. I don't like his attitude, Joe.
Yeah.
Something about it. So.
And I think that's my issue. I think with Luther Burden, just hearing that maybe his attitude, maybe they may have issues with him as well. So. But yeah, you're right. It is kind of a duplication there of a similar player. But yeah, when obviously I had everybody around me saying, well, they picked, and still now they picked the wrong tight end. What's that?
No, they didn't.
So I agree. So what I like about Colston Loveland is he's a matchup nightmare, number one. Number two, I heard from all of my Michigan, friends saying how good he is. And the only knock on him is that he doesn't block. And so that block very well. And, if they put him in different, the Y sets, put him in, 12 personnel, maybe you will not have to as much. Right. So they're going to do some different things with him. Obviously they went offense with that. I was, a little surprised that they didn't go, obviously, and they couldn't, go with Travion Henderson because the Patriots took him. I was I wanted him. I really wanted him. And when they kind of didn't, I think the Bears brass was a little upset they weren't able to get him because I think they really wanted him. But obviously, Luther Burden falling there, I think is a huge a win there. I mean, what about you, Trev? Are you kind of a little scared of this offense now?
Well, you know what? Again, I think, and I just want to make this very clear. April 30th, 2025. I feel like I'm repeating myself from last year's draft. I like that they went offense because you got to surround Caleb because he's obviously not that good with weapons. But you
don't do it. You don't do it as good as I.
No.
Come on.
No, sorry. I couldn't stop myself.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I do think. Okay, just not as a Packers fan, just as an NFL fan, thinking about the Bears. I was still shocked that they did not go for O-line earlier. We talked about it last year. They went and got a Dunez, which is, I like a Dunez. I think he's good. Don't get me wrong. It's just that you have Caleb Williams running for his stinking life for 8-9 sacks a game, and you're going to go and get yourself another wide receiver. It makes zero sense unless you're trading DJ Moore or something like that. But now you got Moore, you got a Dunez, and now you got Burden. That makes no sense to me. Well, you went. So if you go Loveland, that makes sense. Okay, cool. You're gonna go that. You can't go wide receiver at that next pick. But it's like, oh no, well, we waited to get Ozzie. It's like, what? Like, is the guy gonna pan out? Does third round O lineman, when's the last time the Bears drafted an O lineman that actually did jack squat? And that is a legitimate concern. This is not a
that's
Packers
fair.
hate the. That's I fair. Hate the. Just because I want the Bears to go 0-17 does not mean anything. Okay.
Darnell Wright is pretty good. He's pretty good.
He was awful last year, bro.
Not awful.
He was
not awful. No.
So the way you can't really measure offensive lineman if the guy next to him sucks.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
So when the guy next to him sucks, then he has to help that guy out, and the guy next to him sucked.
Yes,
he did.
So
he's not that bad. He's not that bad.
He actually, I believe it's a pretty good PFF ranks. I'll have to kind of go back and look at that. But I get with that. Obviously, they should have taken a line. What's that?
Ruben.
We'll get to him.
He's
fast. So we'll get to him in a second. So offensive line, I wish they would have gone a little bit earlier. Yes, but I think all of the linemen were off the board by the time they got to us, and so
it's a second round pick too, right? That's a second.
Okay, I'm going with the second round pick. I want to see what went before, Andy.
Go ahead. There are a couple times that we kind of missed, but offensive tackles, a couple went before our second round pick as well, and so it kind of got pushed down. I was a little bit, surprised we went with Ozzie Trapila because I didn't know much about him, but obviously the Ryan Poles connection, Boston College, and now with him, I hear that he is more of a right tackle. He did play 22 snaps or 22 games early in his career at left tackle, but he's more of a right tackle. So Darnell Wright may get shifted over to left tackle now. So it's going to be kind of interesting how that works. And obviously now it's going to be on the coaching staff to develop him. I mean, what are your thoughts, Derek, on this offensive line? Obviously the Vikings kind of redid their offensive line, but were you surprised the Bears didn't go offensive line a little early as well?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, tight end makes sense, but there wasn't a lot of picks left either, though. So that kind of makes sense to me.
You're right. Yeah, everyone was kind of off the board.
That's where I think they shifted gears.
The O-line is revamped. The whole front, the interior, the new two new guards, a new center. You know, the best offensive lineman you had last year, you move him over to the left. You put the rookie to the right. It's okay. It's all right. I just, you know, it's just, I don't know. I wish you would have went left tackle, but everybody,
you know, Membu. I really wanted Membu, but obviously he went early. Kelvin Banks went right before the Bears as well. So like some of those players, you know, and it sounds like they were really targeting Loveland and regardless, which I think is why they targeted all the offensive line and got as much as they could in free agency. You know, maybe even obviously next year we target another tackle or something, depending on how the year goes, depending on, you know, how far, if we're like 31, 32 in the draft next year. So it'll be kind of interesting to see that.
I think you're right, Andy. Like, honestly, that was the guy I did not want you guys to get. And I said that in our show last week was I don't want Kelvin Banks Jr. to end up in Chicago. The beginning of the draft worked out perfectly. I did not want you to get Genty, and I didn't want you getting Kelvin Banks Jr. So when that happened, I'm like, okay, I'm good now. I don't want any of those guys going to the Bears because I like those guys personally. I can't root for them. They go to your team. But I get it why you went tight end there. That makes sense to me. I'm just like, but that second round, like there was no other offensive tackles that went until 29 to the Washington Commanders, the Oregon dude. And then Josh Simmons from Ohio State, who has been riddled with injuries. And people are like, he could be a top 10 pick, but he's got injury issues. So there was no other tackle that went before you guys in the second round. So I guess they were saying the value wasn't there. And that's why they went wide receiver. And I want you to know, I really like Burden. It looks good to me. Like that was a great pick by you guys if you weren't going O-line.
So here's a little nugget from at DP Brugler on Twitter on Chicago Bears new offensive tackle Ozzie Trapillo. 0 penalties on 772 offensive snaps in 2024. So obviously he looked more comfortable at right tackle than left, so we'll probably do right tackle. But 0 penalties. I'll take that. I'll take that.
Sacks.
That is yet to be determined.
Oh man,
I ain't got no
letter.
But Andy, one of the things you can run with all year, and we could do this kind of together, is who got the better wide receiver. Because a lot of people had Burden higher ranked than Golden, and why did the Packers go with Golden over Burden? That's a legitimate question, and they obviously had them higher on their draft board. So that's going to be an interesting one to watch.
I think you're right. I think speed, and part of it, like, you know, so my son was at the draft was kind of all about, why did they pick this person? This was way down on the draft board. But part of it is fit, right? And I think, you know, I'm wondering if the Packers have enough players that are like Luther Burden, that obviously Golden fits what they needed better, obviously to replace, you know, that speed. So that could be it as well. But
you know, the Packers a different team when Christian Watson is. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah. And
when you play, you got to play him straight up now. You know what I'm saying? You got to put safeties back there because he's threatening to go deep. So they needed somebody to threaten deep, and he was the fastest person in the draft. So it was smart. It was smart to me.
Talking about smart, the Shamar Turner, I love that defensive tackle pick. I think he's going to be a beast. Obviously, we needed to beef up the defensive line as well. So I like that pick. The one that I wasn't sure about, and because I really wanted DJ Giddens out of Kansas State. I really wanted that running back a little bit early. We kept trading back, and I was like, I'm not sure why we're trading back. And we had opportunities to get better running backs, and we didn't go with that. And went with Ruben Hippolyte II. And he wasn't even really on anybody's radar until it sounded like kind of late in the process. He kind of moved up board just because of his speed, and he worked out really well. So I don't know about that. You know, what were your thoughts on that?
He little, but he fast. He's athletic. I think he got like a 40-inch vertical. That's explosion. So he's little, but he's a blitzer.
And maybe that's what they want to do, and maybe like a special teams guy as well. But I wasn't sure about that one. I definitely have some videos that I need to post on that kind of live as well. Try to do live videos on all of these. Lots of stuff still to post as well. Obviously, we went cornerback, Zob Frazier.
That's the Tyreek Stevens replacement.
Maybe, yeah. And I like that. I like that they're, everybody has to earn it. And I think that can help and push Tyreek. I think Tyreek is going to be the starter and long term. But, hey, if Zob Frazier comes in and gives them, some competition and makes them actually work for it and stay accountable, I'm down with that.
Yeah, 6'3", fast, 4.36. So, he's somebody that's going to push him.
I agree. And my last pick, my favorite one, actually, and we talked about it, I think, on the mock draft, and out of Rutgers, Kyle Monangai. I think we're going to be doing some fun things with the pod coming up here. Trev and I are kind of got some stuff cooking up. He's got some awesome graphics, but Kyle Monangai is now my guy. So
yeah, it'll be all right for y'all. He 1,200 yards for Rutgers 2 years in a row.
What I like about him and seeing highlights is that he blocks, and he is a hell of a blocker, and he's a beast. And so I wasn't sure. Craig Reynolds. Okay. And so they must really like what they have already, or they just didn't, find anybody else that could mix in there. Because I was thinking like Martinez would have been a nice pickup. There were so many running backs that I kind of wanted them to go with. They waited for Kyle Monangai, and so we'll see. Maybe Swift is still the guy. Maybe we go ahead and pick up a Chubb in free agency. Nick Chubb is a possibility. Hearing rumors, so maybe they're going to do that to shore up that running back room. We have to do that. But
the kind of money people got when they ain't paying their quarterback yet, it's just you just pick everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Literally.
So Derek, what were your overall thoughts on the Bears draft? Then, are you worried at all now?
No, definitely not worried.
So you got to prove
maybe in a year or two.
You got to make.
I don't know.
I
feel like the Vikings are going to take a step back. The Bears are going to take a step up. Packers are going to take a step back. I think the Packers are going to be 4, Vikings 3, Lions 2, Bears 1. I mean, that's kind of what I got. What
do I got? I think I got like the Bears and Lions fighting for 4th right now.
Whoa. Okay. What? All right.
What are you drinking over there?
He's drinking the purple Kool-Aid.
Literally.
Following Derek on Facebook and everything, you always have some awesome kind of outfits and stuff for games.
Oh, you like him? You like him? He gave y'all some love. Yeah, he got the best podcast.
You usually have the helmet and stuff like that. Where are some of your inspirations for that?
Oh man, I don't even know. Right? So I mean, inspirations. I just go with it. I just started creating, and that's what came out. And then it's like Dragon Slayer, like trying to create the outfit. I don't know. I threw a bunch of purple and gold glitter on one Halloween, sat behind the goalpost, and then that was a hit. And I just went from there, man. I've had a lot of fun, right? Yeah.
Well, that's good. We have a lot of fun here too. Obviously, we've talked about Bears, Vikings. What about the Lions? We talked about the Packers as well. What about the Lions draft class here, 7th letter? So when you look at that draft class, obviously, there are some names that we talked about in the mock draft. Talked a little bit about Isaac Tesla. You really went wide receiver. Like, what are your highlights, 7th letter, on the Lions picks for 2025?
No, we just showing stuff up. Elaine McNeil not coming back till Thanksgiving. We drafted somebody that can, kind of hold up for him and develop while we waiting for him to get back. Then I tell you, the reason why we lost that playoff game is because fucking Frank Ragnow can't block. not Frank Ragnow. Graham Glasgow can't block.
Graham Glasgow, yeah.
Radlich's replacement, get him out of here. Put him in. And we got another one who I really like, Miles Frazier. You know what I'm saying? He's another one looks athletic, a good pass blocking guard. Isaac Tesla. Remember, I said I want a wide receiver. Go. But he's another one, 6'4", 214, 443. You know what I'm saying? He was number out of all RAS scores, he had the 10th best RAS score. You know what I mean? What you breaking glass for, man?
Tell you what, like Tyler Williams is a big boy, 6'3", 327.
6'3".
I like that pick.
He was 3'6" at one point.
Wow,
that's big. He said it was pandemic.
William Perry.
And, he said he was eating a lot. And then he dropped down to 320. Now he's 337, 334. You know what I mean? Run stuffer. He had the way he moves. They say he's not a pass rusher, but the way he moves, we could develop that into something. Because
he's not gonna be able to catch Caleb Williams though. He's gonna be gassed.
Don't worry about that.
All right.
Don't worry about that. Ain't nobody worried about no Caleb, man. Ain't nobody worried about him, man. I'm not worried about Caleb Williams. And I'm not really worried about your receivers either. So don't nothing to worry about, man.
You just give them all the praise and now you're like bashing them? What's going on?
Aiden's coming back. Oh, when Aiden's back, I can fight you then. You know what I mean? I was beating you with old man from whatever his name is from the Browns. Like now, Aiden's back. We'll be all right. Aiden's back. I'm not scared of nobody no more.
I mean, other than playoffs.
And we were all I needed was Aiden Hutchinson. All I needed was that. That's all I needed.
Yeah, that's what we needed too, and we didn't draft one.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead. So go ahead and we talk about the wide receivers then. Derek, how would you rank the wide receivers in the NFC North? We've been through this before, but obviously now we've got some additions. So how would you rank the wide receivers in the NFC North?
The Vikings have wide receiver. You just want to ask everybody every week. He knows. The Vikings got the best receivers in our division.
I don't think they do now. But that's just me. So Derek, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I definitely think we do. I think it's a good.
Who's number two?
Who's number two? I'd have to say probably Packers.
Oh. Packers have like number three wide receivers. Okay. Who's number three?
Probably Lions and Bears.
Oh man, we got some bear hate. Here. Hey, that's all right.
Gotta prove it though.
I'll take
it.
DJ
Moore that much.
They all are good.
Yeah.
DJ Moore that much, huh?
I do. I love DJ Moore. You know I love some DJ Moore.
I like DJ Moore. I think he's great.
I think you're right.
So when you look at the NFL draft live, we've had a chance. I've had a chance to be in 2 NFC North cities the last couple of years. So seventh letter. When you kind of look at obviously your home team, seeing the draft there compared to Green Bay, what were your thoughts? No. This is your like.
Detroit looked way better than Green Bay, but you tell me.
I don't know. It was in the middle of a bunch of buildings. It was.
It looked way better than Green Bay.
There's a lot more people. There's definitely a lot more people. It was,
way more people. It was dark. It wasn't raining.
Yeah, that rain sucks.
It was horrible.
Come on, man. It just wasn't the best place to have it, man. Where's it next year?
Pittsburgh.
What? Why don't they have it in Minnesota?
I think city, man. They're doing it. Come on, man. These are good teams, really storied franchises.
Yeah,
it's not a place someone wants to go for a draft. You know what I mean? Like Nashville. That's a good place to go. I mean, even city, metropolitan. You don't want to go to no Pittsburgh.
Well, and part of it too is the cold weather, right? I think, so I was surprised, obviously when they announced it being in Green Bay, I was worried about the snow. It wasn't snowing. And it was still a little bit, it was cold in Detroit. It was even cold in Kansas City when we went. It was cold in Detroit. It was probably colder in Detroit than it was in Green Bay. Green Bay, it just has that kind of like storied kind of atmosphere.
The food was nasty.
The food was not all that good in Green Bay. It was not. The only time the food was no. It was they had were burgers and hot dogs and chips. And they kind of had weird. They really the best part of the food was when we were in the draft theater, then we were able to go get the nice food. They didn't really have a lot of good food. I was a little disappointed on that aspect of Green Bay. Overall for atmosphere and everything, seventh letter, I'm gonna have to say actually Green Bay was the better draft to be there live.
Snap!
It really.
Where your son at, yo? Ask the baby.
He said it too. Yo. Oh, he said obviously Green Bay. Obviously, he is a Green Bay fan. But when you look at just kind of game day experience, and obviously, you're going to get a chance to see that live, Trev. But game day experience, everything kind of live. When you're right in the middle of neighborhoods, it just is kind of like a better experience all around. And when you kind of have it that way, then you're able just to incorporate more of the community. And I feel like they did a really good job that way of incorporating the whole community in it. So.
I think the whole community got rich off everyone parking in their yards.
Yeah, right.
You're not wrong there.
$200 to park in the yard. Like, wow.
It was,
they were charging premium.
Wow. Well, and thankfully, I was able to walk. We had some friends that let us stay there a few blocks from there, and walking by $100, $150. Obviously, as the days got they dropped down to 50 for some and things like that. But that's just game day in Green Bay. People want to park close. People want to stay as close as they can to Lambeau Field, and I totally get that. And when you look at just everything that Green Bay has to offer, obviously, probably the toughest thing, I think, if you don't have an opportunity to, if you didn't have an opportunity to get a hotel, it was just how expensive everything was to stay even close by. People are staying an hour away and driving every day. It's just nuts. It just is what it is. All right, here we go. Let's go back some draft. Carl Rittenberg, thanks for commenting here. Tyreek and Ratledge are going to be stars. Oh, so the Lions maybe got some stars. I mean, are you kind of on that?
We draft, bro. We know how we do. All right. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 4th round pick. Elaine McNeil, 3rd round pick. Like this is what we do. This is what we do. Okay. So you relax and you like all those little sexy wide receivers and tight ends and you Ben Johnson and all that. And we just gonna ground and pound and beat y'all up again, like we always do. And you could just have Ben Johnson throw the ball 3,000 times a game.
I'll take it. If Caleb Williams is gonna have an all-time Bears season, I am totally down with that. I'm excited for that. So we're gonna win. No, we're gonna win. And let's go ahead and look at. No. Oh, hey, we're gonna win. I think it's gonna be tough. But for all of us teams in the division, but the Bears are gonna win. All right, let's go ahead. Look at my Bears opponent, and obviously they announced May 14th is gonna be the scheduled release date, so we'll be talking about that relatively soon on all of that. Obviously, here in a few weeks. So, home opponents, we got the Browns, and obviously the whole thing with Shadir Sanders. That was kind of an interesting thing. A cool nugget on the Shadir Sanders thing. We had a chance to sit on the third day up front in the draft theater. We were actually next to Scott Hansen's niece up there, and it was kind of a cool thing. And actually, we got a call. And that, hey, before the pick, this was going to be Shadir Sanders, so get your cameras ready. And so that was kind of an interesting, kind of cool moment. But And obviously, he didn't go to any of our teams. But so looking at the schedule. All right. We've got Browns now, Cowboys, division opponents. Saints are not going to be very good. Giants are not going to be very good.
Oh,
the Giants are not going to be very good.
Giants defense, man, they're going to be hunting.
Thibodeau's kind of falling off. Steelers hunt with Rodgers.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know if the Giants maybe they'll be better than you think, Andy.
Yeah, they're gonna hunt. The defense is going.
They got Dart.
Yeah, they're going to be on the field too much.
Going to be like
they're going to be on the field too much, and if Jackson Dart's out there, with the Bears, at Soldier Field, I don't know. That's a pretty relatively easy schedule.
Steelers are ugly, and the Steelers make everybody ugly. They don't. That's true. Care. They'll beat you. Tough team. Ravens. That's a tough one.
So yeah, Ravens, Bengals are going to be tough.
Detroit.
We're all on the road too.
So the Raiders, I think that one. Bears have that one.
I don't know.
I think the Niners are going to be down this year.
Yes,
Niners for sure.
So I think obviously we'll kind of get through schedules and stuff. I think the Bears are going to win the division with either 11 or 12 wins.
Oh shit, Andy, right here.
Yeah,
you only have a shot at winning 2 of those games in the road. On the road.
Oh, on the road.
Yeah, you came in and beat us. It didn't matter. We already made the playoffs. Blah blah blah. Okay, so we're talking. Who are you going to beat? The Raiders and the 49ers?
Hey,
Brock Purdy still beats your butt.
Hey, you can do all the talking you want.
I'm just saying. Where are you getting this information? You had 3 wins, then you went to 7, then you digressed to 5. All of a sudden, now you're gonna run the table on these?
Raiders?
Are you kidding me? This is the craziest thing you've said
Vikings,
for a whole week.
Niners, and we're going to beat the Commanders. That's 5 wins on the road.
You are not beating the Commanders.
We almost beat the Commanders with a broken coaching staff. Almost with a broken coaching staff. So I'm going to take that. True. That was on the road. I'm going to take that. And I think, Jaden Daniels is in line for maybe a little bit of a regression. We'll kind of see, how he goes in year 2.
I don't know.
They do have Debo. I think that's a big thing. So, Derek, what about your thoughts on the Vikings schedule here? Here we go. Bears will not be that. Hey, we're going to be good. Bears are going to be good. So, Derek, what are your thoughts on the Vikings schedule?
I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, so Commanders, Ravens, Bengals, Eagles. You got them all at home. I think that's good. Let's see. And the way Cowboys, Giants, Browns, Steelers, Seahawks, Chargers. Obviously, it's going to be interesting to see, JJ McCarthy against his old coach with the Chargers. I think that'll be interesting.
Yeah. I think that looks like a pretty good schedule, honestly.
All right. So, and we'll kind of get to that in coming weeks.
I like that.
All right, let's go ahead. What about you, Trev? Here are the Packers' home opponents.
The home opponents are awesome if you want to go watch because everyone's good except for the Panthers. So I'm going to a game this year. I can't wait for that schedule to come out. I'll actually be on a cruise when it comes out, so I won't be able to see what it is till I get back on the 16th. But so I'll be going to one of those games there for the first time.
I'm going to try to make it happen and see if I can meet you there. So
yeah, absolutely, man. I would love to connect with you there.
And I got some friends there, so it's possible. Talk to them if you may have a spot. We can see if we can stay there. So
okay, cool. Chicago, yeah. So I really like the home opponents a lot. It's going to be a challenge though. Eagles, Commanders, Ravens, Bengals. A lot of us are playing those teams. Obviously, division opponents are always difficult. So it's exciting. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be like, who knows who's going to win every week. Honestly, I don't think this division is going to run away with it like it did last year.
I agree.
I think this division is going to be more around the 10 to 12 win mark max. if the Bears get to 8 wins, that would be a huge victory for you guys because you go from
8 wins by week 8.
But not shocking.
Yeah,
but in saying that,
baby.
maybe the Bears go on a run and they go 14-3, whatever you think. Maybe they're like the Minnesota Vikings, where we thought they were going to be dog crap last year, and they were amazing. And so the Vikings shocked us. So maybe it's the Bears' year. I don't know. Is Ben Johnson that good? Is he? I don't know. I think it's Dan Campbell that's good, but it's my opinion.
Possible. We'll see.
I think KO's coach of the year.
Yeah.
So
the big KOC is very good.
Yeah,
I agree.
Very good.
But the road opponents, that one's awesome because it looks like we can get a lot of wins there.
Except against the Giants. I've heard the Giants' defense is going to be good.
I think the Giants are going to give everyone a little bit more run for their money than you think.
They're going to give you a run for your money like they always do.
I don't think so. I think the Giants maybe win 3 or 4 games, and I think Daboll gets fired before the end of the season. I'm calling it.
DeVito beat the Packers.
Yeah.
That was such a low part of the season. I still think I have some like.
No, that was after y'all beat the Chiefs.
I know, bro. I know. I don't know what happened. Okay.
These are some tough games, though. And maybe Denver takes a step back. I think that the Steelers one, whenever that is, I think, especially if and when Aaron Rodgers signs, I think that's going to be a really emotionally taxing game for the entire franchise. Everyone, all the players going to be asked, what about Aaron Rodgers? What about and obviously, these are professional athletes, but I think this stuff matters, right? And they're human, right? And so it's like, you're going against, Aaron Rodgers. All that stuff that will matter. I don't know what the Cardinals are. Broncos, I think, are going to have a solid defense. I think the Cowboys kind of take a step back too. So
if you look at it, Andy, so you're saying on the road we're in Cleveland. That could be snow. Steelers could be snow. That's fine. Bears could be snow, right? But then we're like Arizona is going to be in a dome. Minnesota's in it. Well, we've been struggling lately with Minnesota. Dallas is in a dome. Denver, I don't know what we're gonna get there. But it's looking like that's pretty good road opposition in my opinion.
You actually bring up good points because I do think with Josh Jacobs, the Packers are built to play in the snow, built to play late in the season. Obviously, so I think that may be a positive for the Packers.
That also depends on LaFleur, how he coaches, because LaFleur lets you off the hook a lot too. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of games he should just run and pound, but he'll try to pass, and even though his quarterback's hurt, he'll still try to make something happen in the passing game. Where Josh Jacobs was killing us.
Yeah.
Like killing us. And he just won a pass. So he passed in the red zone.
He was doing it against the Bears too. Yeah. So all right. So let's go ahead and move on to Lions. Last but not least, home opponents. Obviously, you're circling that Cowboys game. I know. Seventh letter.
Shit out of them again. I hate them. Yeah.
Good news, you don't have to play Seattle this year, right?
I don't know. We haven't gone away.
Yeah, we
yet.
do. No, you do not.
Thank God. Jeez.
So I think Seattle's going to be good this year.
Yeah.
They could, and they may have got a steal of Martinez late in the draft as well, running back. The Buccaneers, that's going to be an interesting one.
We beat ourselves. We're going to beat the shit out of Buccaneers this year. We're going to beat y'all. We're going to beat them. We're going to beat you. We're going to beat all y'all.
I'll give you the Lions.
This is easily 8-0.
All right. Here we go. Away opponents. Bears are taking one game for the Lions.
Commanders. I want the Commanders. The Eagles, and I want.
That'll be a good game, Commanders.
Yeah, I want them.
I think the Eagles may take a little bit of a step back.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. They still loaded. They just lost a couple of the Eagles, man. Look at their draft this year.
Yes,
it's the same, yo. Yeah, it's like it falls to them perfectly. every year. And you're like, how they get him? Damn, how they get him?
Tell you what, though, I mean, I feel like the Chiefs turn, nothing into something as well. So you're playing the Chiefs and the Rams. I think the Rams are going to be sneaky good this year.
The Rams were good last year. But they're going
to be even more sneaky good. People are going to they're going to take a step back, but I think Puka and your boy Matthew is going to. This might be his last year. Maybe his last year.
My son Matthew, you saw him play last year.
This might be his last year.
You saw Wally play last year?
Exactly.
I don't think so. He's a maniac, bro.
He is.
Paid him again too. So
all right, here we go. Question from Carl: does anybody think Kim beats out Santos in Chicago?
Who?
Oh yes. Okay, the kicker. We drafted. We picked up a kicker in free agency. No. I think Kim's going to push Santos. I think Santos is going to be the kicker that they signed him long term. Cairo Santos. He's easily been the best Bears kicker in the last few years. He's been pretty much automatic. I think he's just kind of a camp leg, so to speak. And I hope he does well, but he's not beating out Cairo Santos. So love the kicker question here. And obviously we have our punter as well from last year. We got our guy last year. So I don't know. So overall, let's go ahead and we can't pick your own team. So which team in the NFC North had the best draft if you're not picking your own team? So Detroit. Okay. All right.
I love that Ratledge pick. I think that was awesome. That guy was on my radar. I wanted him.
Okay. Tate Ratledge. You wanted him for a guard. Okay. Yeah. All
right.
Then
and then you got the D tackle from Georgia. You got the wide receiver there. Frazier. I don't know. That looks to me like a good draft because they're already stacked. Now you're adding. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with.
Let's run this pill, man.
I would have said the Bears if you picked an O lineman earlier, but
I get it. All right, Derek, what about you? You can't pick the Vikings. So which NFC North team had the best draft in your opinion?
Yeah, I gotta go with the Lions too.
Okay, there's two Lions. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You want somebody to be him. All right, I'm gonna pick the Bears.
Okay, you're picking the Bears. Okay. Why are you picking the Packers?
I'm picking the Packers.
Why are you picking the Bears?
I said I'm picking the Packers. I was just bullshit.
You are picking the Packers. Okay.
Sucks to be you, Andy.
So eight picks there. They addressed a lot of needs. That's a lot of picks there.
Yeah, as usual.
Someone's gonna hit.
Same kind of players because you already kind of know what you're gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Like Colin Oliver, speed. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the little guy, Mekhi Robinson, 4'3". You know what I mean? That's like another Keyshawn Nixon, some bullshit person that plays special teams, and now he's starting cornerback. Like, come on, man. Like, it's the same thing, over and over again. Their last draft pick has a 9 RAS score. You know what I'm saying? So it's like they got a bunch of great athletes as usual. Mm-hmm. It's the same.
All right, so this is up to me then. Obviously I can't pick the Bears.
He's picking the Vikings. I know it.
The Vikings, you kind of look at theirs. Obviously they did well. I think getting a guard. I like Ty Felton. I don't know any of these other guys. Bartholomew. I can't say the Vikings. They didn't really do well. You look at the Lions. I got Isaac Tesla, a guard. I just don't really know. So here you go, Trev. Here you go. I can't pick the Bears because I can't pick the Bears. I'm saying the Packers actually won the draft in the NFC.
Miracles are taking place.
The Packers, they addressed everything they needed to, and obviously other than DB, but they've got someone there, presumably. So I am saying, as a Bears fan, I do think, since I can't pick the Bears, that the Packers did win the draft in the NFC North.
You heard it, everyone. The Packers had the best draft in the whole NFL. That's what you heard.
This is what growth does to a person. This is growth, Trevor. This is growth. So that's what you do.
That was the best part I've ever been on this podcast.
That's amazing.
Andy, I have a question for you, but I've been dying to ask you. I should have brought this up.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Can you tell me what it was like? Honestly, I know it would have made you mad. But when Clay Matthews, the living legend, did what he did, like, I was going nuts watching the thing. Like, I was like, are you kidding me? And like the whole place erupting. And obviously it sucks because it was against your team. But what was it like atmosphere wise? Like, honestly, you're like, that sucks. But at the same time, it's like, that was pretty cool and hilarious. Or was it like, that was classless? Like, what, honestly?
No, it was really well done because it was kind of like the way they did it was like, the president. So like, I think, there's a lot of people in the area that are pro-president, politics aside. So everyone was kind of on like, what is he going to say? Right. And so it was set up well. Even prior to that, they rode in on their bikes. They kind of did like a Green Bay Packer thing and,
that was cool.
and all of that. So it was really well done, well executed. And I totally get it. And obviously someone who trolls a lot online and everything, I give that an A+. That was very well done. It played to the crowd. So obviously I didn't agree with it, but
set the tone, right?
It did.
Like,
it was well
a fun
done.
atmosphere, and like
it was.
And I was shocked he did that, honestly, because I wouldn't have done that.
And it was interesting because I don't, obviously he said it wasn't planned or whatever, and maybe he didn't even run it through
I don't think
commish,
he did.
But
no, I don't think so.
So that was well done. It really overall, I think the way everything was presented, they pandered to the home crowd. I totally get that. So yes, so it was good, and I appreciate it, and I had a good laugh from that too. So
because has there been anything like that at another NFL draft, like to that extent? You know what I mean? I know there's always like rivalry stuff, saying things, but like that was like you didn't see that coming. I was shocked they did that. And
obviously it just shows where we're at as the Bears. Obviously, we're on the Packers' minds, and I get that.
That's fine.
So
you're on my mind.
In
0-17 mind.
In Detroit, I wasn't expecting Detroit for them to last year to just chant Jared Goff. So that was kind of a little weird. Jared Goff. But
it's really weird.
Andy, I think this is a mentality, and Jared, tell me if I'm wrong, but I'm having such a hard time with the Lions mentality, Detroit versus everybody. That is such the dumbest thing. I mean, the only dumber thing I've heard is bear down, but like you think about it, Detroit versus everybody, I don't understand it. It's like, who's against Detroit?
The Detroit versus everybody thing comes from they have cheated us so many times. And it comes from that all the years, the Calvin Johnson rule, the Thanksgiving shit when homeboy was down and they let him run and it was a touchdown, the picking up of the flag in a playoff game, all cast interference. Like it's us against everybody. We got to beat the refs too. That's Detroit versus everybody. That's where it comes from.
Okay.
Now we good. Now we're good now. You know what I'm saying? It's just the mentality. Every time Dan Campbell loses a game, the first thing they revert back to is same old Lions. SOL. Like, damn.
Literally.
We 15-2. The whole team. Like, you know what I mean? That's just Detroit. That's just.
But don't you think that like bad teams, all they do is complain about the refs? You know?
No, man, we're getting raped, yo.
Although obviously, Derek, I know what your thoughts are, but if you've been to Lambeau, there are some Lambeau calls. Packers always get Lambeau calls. It just is what it is.
Rodgers
is what it is. The Chiefs get calls too. It just is what
Tom
it is.
Brady.
I went to that Bills game, Chiefs Bills AFC Championship. I was there. Some of those you couldn't make it up.
My boy was like in the third quarter, they was making calls against the Kansas City Chiefs. I was like, oh, that don't count, bro.
You should have seen their fans too. They just know it. It's like you're just gonna get it.
Yeah, it happened.
We joke about it, and then it would happen.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Like clockwork. And then they went to the Super Bowl and got the shit beat out of them.
That was.
Oh yeah, they wasn't ready. They had no business there. They had no business.
Obviously, as we kind of close out, obviously all of us want to be in the Super Bowl this year. I do think this is going to be the year that one of our teams is going to be in the Super Bowl.
If the injury bug,
go to the ball, baby.
From the end,
go to the ball.
Don't hurt me again. And
one of our teams is going to be in the Super Bowl this year. One of our teams. I'm just going to say that. But hey, we've got a lot of stuff coming up.
5 and 12 Bears make the Super Bowl. What a story, eh?
I love that story. I love it.
And they beat the Lions in the championship game.
Yeah, right.
I love this.
Green Bay at home.
I'm okay with
they
that.
Go and unbeat that would be.
I need my popcorn on this. I love this. Tell you what,
I can see it now.
I will be there in LA for that.
As we close out, Derek, where can everyone find you?
What?
Where can everyone find you? Are you kind of?
Oh yeah.
Are you kind of online? Are you? Do you have Twitter? Anything you want to plug?
Let's see. Let's plug. I mean, 22 Skull, right? Otherwise, it's just Derek Mitchell, Facebook, DARICK
and look for you at games as well. You're usually have like a pretty colorful
big helmet on my head. Yeah,
helmet.
I like Dragon Slayer. Yeah, I got a new tailgate vehicle this year.
All that good stuff.
Yeah, it actually has a bedroom in the back. It's 36 feet long.
Okay,
it's the real deal. So traveling, like you were saying, it's expensive, right?
Mm-hmm.
The kind of mindset is I want to go out, I want to do more. So yeah, I'm going to be fixing that up all summer. That's kind of like the dream.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Definitely. We're going to be following that as we get closer to the season as well. Trev, where can I find you as we close out?
You can find me RevTrevNFL everywhere, and love to have you come and check out my channels, Facebook, TikTok. By the way, my TikTok is going awesome. The roast that I have about the Bears on there are awesome.
Oh, I'm gonna
get so fired up. It's awesome. But YouTube, X, all those things. So
yeah, great stuff. I'm gonna we'll tune in on that. We also have Freezin number 4 pod on TikTok as well. I got a lot of stuff to start posting on there as well. You can find me on the X machine at NFL Outdated on YouTube. NFL Outdated as well. I was able to have our podcast, code and everything on the back of a sweatshirt as I traveled around, and so hopefully had some people tune in that way as well. But hey, lots to come this year, and obviously, a team that is still up top for now. 7th letter. Where can we find you as we close out?
7th letter 4 on Instagram and Facebook. No, 7th letter 4 on Instagram, Twitter. No, 7th letter 4 on Twitter X. Same OG on Instagram and Facebook. On top of the NFC North for the last 2 seasons. Let's make it a 3rd. Have a good week, y'all.
Well, hey, once again, it's been the Freezin for NFC North podcast, and we will catch you again next week talking more NFC North tidbits. Lots to come on that. Thanks again, everybody. Thanks for commenting, and thanks for following us. We will catch you next week. Bear down.